The BOG WITCH is here, a brand new NPC in Valheim who sells ingredients that enable powerful potions and new feasts, but are far from the only new or quality of life updates, making this the most broadly impactful patch since Hearth and Home way back in 2021. Let's dive in. Found in the swamp, the BOG WITCH is discoverable just like Haldor and Hildir before her, but this time with a round cauldron-like symbol. As you approach the hut, you will see a friendly Greydorf outside, who as it turns out is an imposter. The true witch is found inside, accompanied by her broommate, Kvatster. While the broom appears friendly, I'd have to warn you against attacking it, but I'll elaborate more on him a little later. Once interacting with the witch, you will find a vast list of new ingredients enabling new recipes and useful items available for gold. I have included the full list of her wares here, their costs, use cases, and how to unlock them, and will do my best to include a link in the video description with all the information about this update. Be sure to check that out. The first use case for the items found here are feasts, a brand new food type that augments the food system like the Hearth and Home update before it. Moreover, what elevates this update in my opinion is that it is as forward looking as it is backward in adding feasts for early game biomes as well as late game. The ingredient required to craft each of the 8 feasts will become available in the witch's shop following the defeat of the biome's corresponding boss and for the sailor's bounty after defeating a serpent. As explained, each feast corresponds with a biome, starting with the whole roasted meadows boar, followed by the Black Forest buffet platter, the Swamp Dweller's delight, a hearty mountains logger's stew, the plains pipe picnic, mushrooms galore a la Mistlands, the Ashlands Gourmet Bowl, and finally, for the ocean, the Sailor's Bounty. Further, food, meads, and the newly added feasts can be crafted and placed on surfaces like build pieces without item stands after purchasing the serving tray for 140 coins. This is a new tool that when equipped opens a menu with tabs associated with the consumable type, allowing you to cycle through and place those foods, meads, and feasts from your inventory. Feasts must be placed before eaten, but can be consumed a total of 10 times to keep both you and your compatriots well fed. While the feasts grant great buffs to your stats like previous foods, where they truly shine is their duration being a whopping 50 minutes long. By now, you might be wondering, where do I craft these feasts? In short, the Cauldron received significant rework, with food recipes now being split between it and 2 new cooking stations in the food preparation table and mead kittle. Going forward, uncooked food recipes will be found at the table, cooked foods at the cauldron, and mead bases at the kittle, including the new potions covered shortly. To craft the table, you will require iron, fine wood, and leather scraps, while the kittle requires tin, copper, and again, leather scraps. And that is not all. Multi-crafting has been introduced, enabling the crafting of multiple instances of the same item. When at a crafting station, hold down shift to craft 5 of the item of your choice. Granted, you have the resources to do so, of course. And no, this is not restricted to food, as all crafting stations now have this functionality. In a similar fashion, many of the BOG WITCH's ingredients enable the crafting of powerful new potions at the new mead kittle and fermented as with existing meads. In total, there are 7 new potions to be crafted and a mysterious 8th, which is purchasable and covered last. First is the Berserkir mead, which makes you go, well, berserk. With this mead pop, you take increased damage from slash, blunt, and pierce, but get a massive reduction in stamina usage by 80% while attacking, blocking, and dodging. This thing is bonkers, but is high risk, high reward if you can avoid being hit. Unfortunately, unlike most other meads, its effect lasts a mere 20 seconds. Second is the tonic of Ratatosk, which might be my personal favorite, granting a 15% increase to movement speed while also increasing your run skill by 10. Imagine this combined with the Fenris armor or Aspen cloak. Third, granting you mad hops in the Lightfoot mead increases your jump height by 20% and reduces stamina usage while jumping by 30%. Fourth, the Drought of Vanadir, which just might make swimming viable with its massive 80% reduction in stamina consumption while doing the breaststroke. Fifth is the Mead of Troll Endurance, granting you troll strength, increasing your carrying capacity by 250. Sixth, making you friendly to wildlife in the Brew of Animal Whispers, which reduces the taming time to half. Typically, when taming a creature, you will get a % of progress every 20 seconds, but with this mead popped, that tick timer is reduced to 10, therefore having the time to tame a creature from 30 to 15 minutes. I foresee this one relieving many players of the frustration of taming, and the 7th craftable new mead will surely make the Plains adventurers rejoice in the anti-sting concoction, which when consumed makes mosquitoes unable to sting you, allowing you to roam freely without fear. The 8th and final potion is of course the mysterious love potion, which unlike the previous is not crafted but is purchased directly from the witch with 5 for 110 coins. To the best of my knowledge, this potion is a literal troll item provided by the developers. When popped, nearby trolls will immediately aggro you, even if sneaking or outside of their line of sight. While nearby, pink hearts will appear around the troll as if breeding, but based on my testing, yields no tame or baby troll. The best theory I have heard while crawling through the Valheim Discord is that using the mead will force spawn trolls to have a single star, but this has proved difficult to confirm. While you take a moment to review the full list of new meads, let me ask you, what do you think? Are we being trolled by the devs? Let me know in the comments if you have any theories. Next up, and maybe even more importantly, and what might be my personal favorite part of this update, is the inclusion of an incredible time-saving tool and 3 brand new skills in crafting, cooking, and farming. First, crafting, which applies to both crafting items as well as placing build pieces. Increasing this skill will allow you to craft items more quickly. This is most evident when crafting 5 items, which is significantly slower. Further, impact to your hammer durability and stamina usage while placing build pieces will also be reduced. Second, the new cooking skill allows Vikings to gain experience when cooking their favorite meals. The higher the level of this skill, the faster you will cook your favorite dishes, reduce the wear of the serving tray tool, and further, increase your chance of yielding +1 to your cooked foods. And thirdly, my absolute favorite in the farming skill. Like cooking before it, you will gain experience when cultivating, planting, and harvesting your crops. As your skill increases, you will have an increased chance of yielding additional crops noted by a delightful sound. Plus, reduce stamina consumption while using the cultivator. But that's not all that is new in farming. As you have just seen, this update introduced a brand new tool in the Scythe. Purchase the Scythe handle for 200 coin from the BOG WITCH and combine it with 6 silver to harvest multiple crops at once and further increase your harvest radius with the farming skill. Unfortunately, it serves no purpose as a weapon. Speaking of a weapon, remember the broom Kvaster? Well, if you happen to attack him, you will be in for one heck of a fight as it does a ton of damage. However, beating him will reward you with his broomstick trophy to add to our already massive collection. Apart from that, there are 6 other miscellaneous things included in this update I must not neglect. First, a new raid event has been added featuring wraiths and ghosts. At this point, it's not clear to me what criteria must be met to add the raid to your eligible pool, but when it does, the feeling of a chill down your spine will bring forth 3 ghosts and 2 wraiths. Second, in addition to various visual updates to Hilder's location, 3 new pieces of clothing have been added to her shop in the Harvest tunic, dress, and straw hat. When combining the straw hat with either the tunic or dress, you will get the set bonus from it, providing +25 to your farming skill, in addition to the -20% base stamina use from the tunic or dress. Third, 3 new emotes in Relax, Rest, and Toast are all now available. Fourth, 2 new furniture pieces are now craftable with the purchase of the candle wick from the witch and barrel rings from Haldor in the new decorative and permanent light source in the resin candle and storage containing barrel, which has a larger capacity than a standard chest. Fifth, ivy seeds purchased can be planted and function like the vineberry seeds from the Ashlands. Place them next to a wall and in no time, green vines will decorate your home. And sixth, and likely my absolute favorite, are 2 new console commands. First, the reset skill command can now take all as an input, allowing you to reset all your skills to 0 rather than 1 at a time. Second, the new command sort craft has been added that will allow you to adjust the sorting order of items at your crafting stations to be sorted by either type, weight, count, or be kept as they were originally. And if you're considering returning to Valheim to check out this new update, make sure you follow these 18 steps to get the perfect start in your new world.